Hello and welcome to Unplugged TV India. I'm Abhishek Tiwari back again with some major news updates doing round across the world. India beat Denmark in DavisCup World Group 1 playoff. 76.04% voter turnout till 5 pm in Manipur assembly elections, exploring all possible mechanisms to evacuate Indian citizens in Sumy. Over 66,200 men have returned from overseas to fight, says Ukrainian Defense Ministry. European Union suspends Russia and Belarus from Council of Baltic Sea States. Malaysia and Indonesia will relax COVID restrictions on international travel. Russia's unprovoked attack on Ukraine brings sanctions from Singapore. India took a 3-0 lead over Denmark in an intense double match of the DavisCup World Group 1 playoff at Delhi Gymkhana Club on Saturday. India's Rohan Bopanna and Divic Sharma defeated Denmark's Fredrik Nielsen and Mikael Topegard during the match. In the first set, both teams went toe-to-toe, holding their serves, with the score tied 6-6 in the tiebreaker. The Danes upped their game and won the set by 6-3 and 7. The Indians responded quickly, with Rohan Bopanna and Divic Sharma breaking their Danish opponents in the first game of the second set and riding the momentum to tie the tennis match at 1-1. With the doubles victory, India took a 3-0 lead in a 5-match series and qualified the DavisCup World Group 1 stage in 2022. As voting began for the second and last phase of the Manipur Assembly elections, 76.04 voters casted their vote in the last phase of Manipur elections till 5 pm. On Saturday morning, Prime Minister Narendra Modi called upon the voters in the state to vote in large numbers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted, "Today is the second phase of Manipur Assembly elections, calling upon all those whose constituencies are polling today to vote in large numbers and mark the festival of democracy." Hours before the voting started, 2 separate incidents of violence were reported in Manipur. According to the reports, 25-year-old Amuba Singh, a BJP supporter, was gunned down allegedly by a Congress worker in the states of Bhopal district. Singh succumbed to bullet injuries early on Saturday at a hospital. According to police, Singh, along with other BJP activists, had gone to the residence of the Congress workers in the early hours to tell him to stop campaigning as the time for it was over. While in a separate incident, a crude bomb was exploded outside residency of an expelled Saffron Party leader in Manipur elections. As many as 92 candidates, including 2 women, were in fray for the second and last phase of the Manipur elections. Meanwhile, Union Minister and BJP leader Amit Shah, during a press conference in Delhi, said, "We will form the government again in Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Goa and Manipur. And we will have a good performance in Punjab." After a flurry of desperate video appeals from Indian students stranded in northeast Ukraine's Sumy, the Indian embassy in war-torn country on Saturday said that they are exploring all sorts of possible mechanisms to evacuate them safely and securely. Embassy in their tweet said, "Exploring all possible mechanisms to evacuate Indian citizens in Sumy safely and securely. Discussed evacuation and identification of exit routes with all interlocutors, including Red Cross, while control room will continue to be active until all citizens are evacuated. Be safe and be strong." Let's hear out what the stranded students in Ukraine are saying.
Of Sumy State University is the 10th day of war. Today we got a news that Russia has announced ceasefire to open humanitarian corridor for 2 cities. One of them is Manipur, which is 600 kilometers away from Sumy. Since morning we are constantly listening to bombarding, shelling, street fights. We are afraid. We have awaited a lot and we cannot wait anymore. We are risking our life. We are moving towards border. If anything happens to us, all the responsibility will be for government and Indian embassy. If anything happens to us, to anyone, Mission Ganga will be your biggest failure.
This is the last video from the Sumy State University students, and we are just risking our life and we are just going to this border which Russia has opened. So this will be our last request and last video, guys. Just pray for us, and government, please let you guys know that we are just moving from our own risk. This is our last video.
We need our government right now.
Bharat Mata
की जय! भारत माता की जय!
With more Indians airlifted from the war-hit zones of Ukraine's Kharkiv and other cities, AirAsia flights carrying 170 Indians from Suceava in Romania landed in Delhi on Saturday. This was the first such flight operated by Bangalore-based budget carrier under Operation Ganga. Meanwhile, 3 C-17 heavy lift transport aircraft of Indian Air Force, which took off on Friday from Hindan Air Base, landed back at Hindan Air Base on Saturday morning. These flights evacuated 629 Indian nationals from Romania, Slovakia and Poland. These flights also carried 16.5 tons of relief load from India. Till date, the Indian Air Force has flown 10 flights to bring back 2,056 passengers while taking 26 tons of relief load to these countries as a part of Operation Ganga. Besides Indian Air Force, Indigo airplane also brought about 229 Indian nationals back on Saturday. Meanwhile, Amit Shah on Saturday said that we are looking into an issue from Jan only. We issued an advisory on February 15th. We sent Russian-speaking teams to 4 nearby countries and also set up a control room. By March 4, we were successful in bringing out 16,000 citizens from Ukraine. He further added that over 13,000 citizens have reached India and more flights are coming in. This had a positive impact on elections also and on other people, while Ministry of External Affairs informed that 15 flights have landed in 24 hours with around 2,900 Indian nationals on board. Approximately 13,300 people returned in India so far. 13 flights are also scheduled for next 24 hours. We should be able to clear out everyone in next few hours. So far, we have no one left in Kharkiv. Our main focus is on Sumy now. Challenge remains ongoing violence and lack of transportation. Best option would be ceasefire. On Saturday, Ukrainian Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov announced that 66,224 Ukrainian soldiers have returned from abroad to confront Russia's invasion. In an online post, the defense minister said that's how many men returned from abroad at this moment defend their country from the invasion. These are 12 more combats and motivated brigades. Ukrainians, we are invincible. According to the European Union, Russia and Belarus have been suspended from the Council of Baltic Sea States operations. This decision is a part of European Union's and like-minded partners' response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and the involvement of Belarus in this unprovoked and unjustified aggression. Officials in Indonesia said on Saturday that they are exploring a quarantine waiver for foreign tourists to Bali starting next week, while Malaysia announced the relaxation of restrictions on travelers from Thailand and Cambodia. Singapore announced penalties against Russia on Saturday, including the closure of 4 banks and a ban on the export of electronics, computers and military hardware, in a rare measure by the Asian financial hub in response to Moscow's dangerous precedent in Ukraine. Now, if you like our video, then please hit like, share and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below and tell us your reactions. Till then, for more updates, keep watching Unplugged TV India.